When Scarlett Johansson announced that she was suing Disney over Black Widow, we all knew that they were going to try to sweep it under the rug and make everyone forget about it, because when people hate a product and they say they hate it on social media, companies just go, all press is good press. But when it comes to lawsuits, they are the one thing that companies don't want people to talk about. And of course, to no one's surprise, Disney's trying to force the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit to arbitration, and now she is slamming them by saying that this move is misogynistic. I have a couple of things that I want to show, mainly reading this Cosmic Book News article, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or supporting via direct donations. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So let's start off with this. It says Scarlett Johansson accuses Disney of misogynistic attack over Black Widow lawsuit. Scarlett Johansson and her team of lawyers have accused Disney of a misogynistic attack on the actress in regards to a recent filing over the Black Widow lawsuit. Now, when I saw the claims that Disney, had a misogynistic attack on her, I thought they did something big and bad. I thought they made some massive statement where they were calling her out and they were, attacking her. None of that really happened. They did respond publicly once to let everyone know, yes, this lawsuit is happening. We're disappointed to see one of our main actresses is suing us. But there's not really a lot of misogyny there. She's the one that filed the lawsuit against them. Of course, they're just going to respond to it publicly because they want to defend their image. It says Disney filed a motion to get the case moved to arbitration instead of having the case decided in public court, where Johansson's lawyers responded as follows. Of course they want to move it to arbitration. They don't want this to be public. They want to sweep this under the rug. They just want to give her a little bit of money and say, go on your way. We'll see you later. They don't want everyone to be able to see the case in depth and in detail. It says after initially responding to this litigation with a misogynistic attack against Scarlett Johansson, Disney is now predictably trying to hide its misconduct in a confidential arbitration, said the Oscar nominee's main lawyer today after the House of Mouse's response to Johansson's scathing profits lawsuit went public. Why is Disney so afraid of litigating this case in public, added the LLP attorney in what has become a Cuban Missile Crisis level war of words? Because it knows that Marvel's promise to give Black Widow a typical theatrical release like other films had everything to do with guaranteeing that Disney wouldn't cannibalize box office receipts in order to boost Disney Plus subscriptions, they added, as Disney insists Marvel's contract with Johansson provides for arbitration exactly in the event of a dispute like this one that erupted on July 29th. Yet that is exactly what happened, and we look forward to presenting the overwhelming evidence that proves it. Where exactly the misogyny comes in is unclear. Now, I don't really like Scarlett Johansson. She has turned into a massive Hollywood suck-up SJW over the years. I mean, that's how she became one of the highest paid actresses in the industry, but at the same time, Disney should have consulted with her and her legal team before suddenly moving forward with Black Widow going on to Disney+. And a contract is a contract. Yes, the original contract was written a long time before the shutdowns, plus the pandemic is considered, for the most part, to be an unprecedented event, but still, when there's a contract in place, they still should follow it or alter it if they couldn't follow it. Yet, it doesn't really sound like they wanted to work with her. They just wanted to keep everything the same, do what they want to do, and not really have to deal with her on the side. They just kind of wanted to release it wherever they wanted to, and they didn't care about her opinion. And it is also important to keep in mind that she wasn't just a lead actress in this movie, she was also an executive producer, so her opinion does matter quite a bit. But it says where exactly the misogyny comes in is unclear, but at issue is Scarlett Johansson claiming that her contract says Black Widow can only be released in theaters, while Disney is arguing the contract does not mandate an exclusive theatrical release. Now, her and her team are literally saying, by them wanting to just settle it, that it's a misogynistic attack. understand where the misogyny is coming in here. I think that's a pretty big stretch. I mean, you're talking about one of the largest companies in entertainment, so why would you think they'd want to settle this in the public eye? Yeah, it's shitty of them to try and ignore her contract, but it's not misogynistic, and it's not like they're doing this because she's a female, and if she's got proof they did screw her over because of her gender, okay, that is completely different, but there's no evidence of that at all right now. It says, although Marvel and Disney share Periwinkle's frustration with the challenges associated with releasing films during an ever-shifting public health crisis, Periwinkle's claims that Marvel breached the agreement and Disney induced that breach or otherwise interfered with the agreement have no merit. Last night's motion states, there is nothing in the agreement requiring that a wide theatrical release also be an exclusive theatrical release. The contract does not mandate theatrical distribution, let alone require that any such distribution be exclusive, it goes on to say. Moreover, the contract expressly provides that any theatrical distribution obligations are satisfied by distribution on no less than 1,500 screens, and even though Black Widow's release coincided with a global public health crisis, Marvel made good on its promises. I mean, she clearly knew the company that she was dealing with because she filed all of this after she upheld her side of the contract, she did promotions for the movie, and she got her initial paycheck. We are talking about one virtue signaling Hollywood suck-up versus a giant greedy corporation, so I really don't feel bad for whoever loses in this situation. But it says, where does Disney's misogynistic attack on Scarlett Johansson come from? Feminist groups have also slammed Disney for a gendered attack on Scarlett Johansson, but again, it's really not clear on where the attacks come from. I mean, she was the one that filed the lawsuit, she was the one saying that there was an issue, and Disney was just the company responding saying, hey, listen, we're going through this lawsuit with her. Yes, she's gone public with it, so we're just going to respond publicly as well. We did nothing wrong. She was the one that started all of this. Are they actually arguing that because Black Widow is a female-led movie, that is the reason Disney decided to release it early on Disney+? If that's what people are arguing, they are dead wrong, because films like Jungle Cruise are also going to Disney+ early. Look at this, it says the action-adventure film Jungle Cruise reached theaters and Disney+ premiere access on July 30th. 2 weeks after its premiere, Disney announced the flick would have an early digital release. All of these films are getting early digital releases on Disney+. It was not just Black Widow. It says, I would love for the lawsuit to be open to the public because I would think Disney would have no choice to come out and state they released Black Widow on Disney Plus because they knew it wasn't going to succeed at the box office. The movie wasn't any good. In my opinion, the movie wasn't that great. I think that there are people out there who did like it, who were excited to see this character again and see a story mainly about her on the big screen, but at the same time, I do think that it is important to note that right now the box office is very unstable. Films that people think are going to do amazing are flopping right now, and some movies that everyone thought would flop are doing great. It's just very unstable right now, and I think that's a huge reason why they want to release it on Disney+. It's not rocket science. It's pretty easy to tell why. It says, though, and again, claims the pandemic has anything to do with the failure of Black Widow is laughable at best. We've all been saying this for a while, but Disney is a pathetic company. Contracts exist for a reason, and even though circumstances change, they should have talked to her and her legal team before deciding to put this film on Disney+. At the end of the day, it's a multi-millionaire going after a multi-billion-dollar company, and I guess we'll have to see how it plays out and if this goes her way or not. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.